What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Is Tuesday. I am out here once again on the grind, making it happen in the truck. You know how it goes. Can't wait to get back into the studio and make more videos that way, and or just go live. I know I go live every Saturday. Hopefully you guys check that out every Saturday morning between 9 9:30. Programming though, I may not be, more likely will not be going live this upcoming Saturday because of scheduling. I have to go to a family outing that Saturday morning, so I won't be going live. So I'll probably be going live throughout the week, so be on the lookout for that. But the lives on Saturday do be pretty awesome, and I thank everybody who come through. So I'll give you what's going on with that later on this week. But nevertheless, I want to talk about this topic that I have on deck today. How do I, or how I've decided to navigate gaming as a collector with Game Pass is starting to be one of my primary ways of gaming. Game Pass has garnered value within the last, I'll say maybe 2 or 3 months. And it was, first it was some other games that I was playing every now and then through Game Pass or whatever the case may be. Then I started playing South of Midnight. Then I started playing Oblivion. And then I'm going to try this other RPG I talked about in my last video, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So how does that work when I'm still thinking about, possibly collecting more games? Really, the long story short is like, look, these 3 games that I just talked about are games that I'm probably going to end up buying physical. And I think Game Pass is basically the gateway to actual, finding games that I may want to collect for. I don't see myself really getting into playing a bunch of digital games. I'm not really a fan of it. The closest thing I do that with is my PC because, it's PC. But nevertheless, I look at this as well when it comes to PlayStation Plus. Even though those games over there aren't as prominent. I think right now they got Hogwarts Legacy on PlayStation Plus, which is really interesting. That may be a game that I want to play. I saw my nephew play that a while back. But I'm just looking at Game Pass because the thing about Game Pass, you say what you want about Xbox, and they put games in your face. Games are like right there and they're readily available. They're easy to access. And one thing about it as well, the value of the service is actually pretty solid. So it's, even though I'm not the biggest Xbox fan when it comes to the Xbox Series, I do like the fact that it's so convenient to get those games right there. You can turn right back around and play them on your PC, or I think now you can even, cloud game them on your phone, which I'm never going to try. But the fact that the convenience is there, it's so easy to fall in that trap to where, you're going to have games right there. Now, as a collector, I'm obviously still going to be picking up PlayStation games. I mean, to me, that's the best way to play those games is physical as of right now. But really, when I look at these games in Game Pass, I'm spending a lot of time on Game Pass. And that's the issue with me. I'm spending a lot of time on Game Pass, and I'm thinking, like, am I going to convert over to, like, being a Game Pass gamer? I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see that. But I'm definitely using it as a tool to play games and actually thinking about purchasing the physical copy. Like, I'm definitely going to get Oblivion. I know it is only on Xbox 360 and PS3. Definitely going to pick that up because I've become a huge fan of that game, and I know I'm like 20 years too late. But this is the thing about that. I've been playing sports titles, around that time, and I really haven't been getting into the games that I should have been getting into, like an Oblivion, like the other, Final Fantasies, like other third person shooters, which I play a good bit of those too. I just haven't. Back in 06, 07, 2008, that just wasn't my thing. But now, that's like the new wave for me, and I'm really, really enjoying them. I'm really loving the games, and that is the direction that I'm going. Also, I know this is not a part of the topic of this video, but the fact that I'm going that route, it really gives me a pause to what I think about the sports games that I do have. If you looked at my video that I did, or the live stream that I did when I was doing the game room tour, I have a lot of sports titles, a lot of them, and they're just piling up. And it looks like, when you go to the mom and pop shop, sport game store, and you see all of those games, sports titles there for like $2, it's looking like that. And I'm thinking about what I'm going to do as far as getting, I ain't gonna say get rid of them, but just definitely put them away, as far as even out of my closet that I got them in, and start replacing those with these type of games that I'm actually starting to enjoy. So it is actually working out big time for me when it comes to Game Pass and learning about them, and knowing that, even though I do have the subscription to Game Pass, these are games that I don't really own. And with that being said, I'm not going to say I may not complete these games, because I'm almost done with South of Midnight. But these are games that I would want to, pretty much, own at some point. Because a game that I like, these are games that I not necessarily want to play a second time, but I want to have access to playing for a second time, or a third time, or a fourth time. And like most of the games I do have, which I think this is going to be another topic at another time, most of the games I do have are games that are really big with the replay value. They have a lot of replay value in my book, and I'll play them like forever if I want to. I don't have games that I don't want to play anymore. This is one of the reasons why I was talking about those sports titles. I don't see myself ever going back to Madden 07 for the Xbox 360 again. Hell, I don't even see myself going back to Madden 07 on the PS2 Xbox, or the original Xbox anymore. It's just, those type of games, Madden 02, NBA 2K3, all those sports titles that I have, I just don't see myself going back to them. There's probably like a handful of games that I have, which are sports titles that I know I will probably always play. Like NCAA 14, I can see myself always playing that forever. I just see myself doing it. I don't know what it is about that game. I don't see myself getting tired of it. Unlike another football game like NFL 2K5, which that game is still an amazing game, I just don't see myself going back to play it extensively anymore. And it's just, I just don't. It's just one of those games I'm looking at like, all right, it's just there. What I'm going to do with it? So I don't know what I'm going to do with that game. At the end of the day, I'm more like, I don't want to get rid of them, but I may just put them in a bin where they're out of sight, out of mind. But that's what Game Pass has done, man. Game Pass has really made me think about configuring a lot of things that I'm going to be doing as far as gaming and what games I want to play. It really expanded my horizons to really think about, okay, what game is out there to play now? My backlog, and what also helps is that my backlog isn't that big. I have a backlog of maybe about 5, maybe 6 games. And in gamer terms, that's actually really good, to have a backlog that low. So like in 3 of those games, 2 of those games, I'm in the process of I'll say 3. 3 of those games I'm pretty much in the process of finishing. And like I said, it's South of Midnight, Oblivion, and I want to go ahead and finish Gears of War Judgment. So a lot of these games are pretty much on the Xbox side, because most of the games on the PlayStation I've already played and completed. I don't have any games on the PlayStation side that I don't have to play, or I ain't gonna say have to play, but that's in a part of my backlog, because I've played those and completed them. So it's one of the reasons why my PlayStation has been just sitting there. It's like I don't have, any games on the PlayStation side that I like have to play right now, because I've pretty much going through them, last year, or earlier 2025, I got done with those. So now I'm on the Xbox train, and that's where it is right now. I'm playing games on Xbox. I play them on the PC. I'm actually playing some games on Steam. And yeah. And speaking of Steam, like Freedom Planet is another game I need to finish. And that's a part of the backlog. So that's like 4 games. Like I said, my backlog is like about 6 games. So I'm right where I am right now. But other than that, man, it is what it is when it comes to Game Pass. And like, I think I finally figured it out. Like, this is is really working out for me. Games that I would never thought that I would play, I'm playing them. and it's thanks to Game Pass. And it's like I said, it's actually working out pretty good. If I have a recommendation, I'll recommend at least try a month trial and see what you think. If you haven't got it already, most people I know already got it, so they kind of around that same boat. But I do notice a lot of people who have Game Pass don't complete the games that they're playing, and that's kind of interesting. But I don't know. That's another story for another day. I will get to you guys as far as the live stream this weekend. I won't be going live this Saturday morning. Maybe I'll push it to Sunday morning, still have that weekend vibe of doing a live stream. I don't know where I'm going to go with that. But, yeah, Saturday morning I'm going to be at a family event, so I will not be live that Saturday morning. Maybe I'll go earlier in the week. Just depends on how the rest of the week goes. I don't know, but I'll let you guys know maybe around Thursday or whatever the case may be. Hopefully you guys hang around to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about this video. I'm going to get up out of here, and I'll see y'all guys on the next one. All right, y'all be blessed. Peace.